Okay, so this season Six Nations starts next month, in about a month's time. Well, a month to the Six Nations, maybe 3 weeks. It's the hardest one for me to predict ever. I've been watching the what used to be the Five Nations since about 1994, 95, when the game was about to have professional. I've been watching it basically most of my life. My dad was a Harlequins fan and used to play rugby for the army. I played rugby at school and at amateur level at my local rugby club. My cousins played amateur level rugby and university level rugby, so I've been around rugby for a very, very long time. This Six Nations is the hardest to predict. Scotland suddenly look like an international force again. They are looking competitive, looking good. Ireland always have a competitive side. They are just, I think, needing a fresh. They're in a bit of a transition phase, but they're going to be up there. They constantly produce world class players. Wales, to me, are the weak link, the weakest actually depth wise. I think at the moment they've been for a long time. The Autumn International proved how. I think Warren Gatland needs to go as coach. I think he's been there too long. I think their coaching setup needs to change. That's where the problem lies. Some of their players are just not performing, and their depth has been shown up with that Georgia result where they basically cheated to win the game, and I'm not being light in my criticism there. The England side always is strong. Eddie Jones has got a few selection headaches. Tuilagi being one of them. He's been told to lose a bit of weight and sort his discipline out again. There's a few selection headaches for Eddie Jones. The Italians, their club sides this season in Zebra and Treviso are doing quite well in the Pro 14. They're actually doing better than in previous seasons. They're far more competitive. They've got a bit more bite about them. The players are playing better, and hopefully that translates to the national side. The problem with Scotland and Italy is they've only got two professional sides to pick players from. England and France have an advantage in having so many. Ireland and Wales also struggle because they've only got four sides to pick from. The Welsh out of the home nations look the weakest. Out of the whole lot, we don't know which French team are going to turn up. They've got Camille Lopez missing with a broken leg and other selection issues. England, they'll always be strong, but it's going to be one of the most competitive tournaments I think we have ever seen for this Six Nations. The standard has improved markedly since I first started watching rugby because of professionalism. The physicality has gone through the roof. I'm not going to predict anything, but what I will say is it's going to be close and it will not be a Grand Slam for anyone's side. There'll be no Grand Slam. I think Scotland will upset the apple cart for England. I think Ireland, they have a few fringe younger players that are trying to break into the main side, and that's key to look at. The French team, it just depends which French team bothers to turn up. Although they're starting to get their flair back into their game. Power and flair with French works really well. They tried being too structured and they tried to basically coach the flair out of them. It didn't work. So that depends which French side decides to turn up and play. Italy, as always, ferocious pack, and they've actually got some decent backs now. I think they've been badly treated in the press because the Georgians proved, yes, they can be competitive against Wales, but at the same time they are lacking the complete discipline and fitness to be classed as Six Nations contenders at this stage. Welsh selection policy is a big issue for me. You can only play so many caps before you can play abroad, and they get paid less playing in Wales as well. I think that's wrong. It's the same with the English selection policy. I think that's wrong, and the Irish are going the same way. I don't like this. You can't play abroad if you want to play for your country. I think the best players, doesn't matter where they play, should play for their country. We have some English players who are playing in France who are not eligible for selection because of these stupid, archaic, backward selection rules. And I think they are backwards. I think rugby union needs to look at its selection rules seriously. Every other sport, you can play in whatever country you want to be selected. So I have my issue with that. The Scottish side look the most improved. Out of all six, they look the most improved over the last 2-3 years. And the way they play the Autumn International with the pace and the quick thinking, the Welsh tried that as well. Didn't work so well for Wales. The Welsh are far too many mistakes in their game. The Scottish are playing with a bit more pride as well. So there you go. That's my little preview. It's going to be very, very interesting. I am not predicting anything yet. I will start doing the results as they, and watching the games because I'll have a lot of time to watch the games when they come about. I won't be able to watch all the games, but I'm going to watch as many as possible and enjoy as many as possible. But at the same time, the results are going to be key because we're getting towards the end of the World Cup cycle. Japan 2019 is next year. This is going to be a key marker for where coaches think their teams are at and where coaches are at in this cycle, and what young players we can see in the next couple of years who will break into those World Cup sides. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.